This week's video finds us in Costa Teguise, and we thought today we'd film some of the parts of Costa Teguise kind of that are on the outskirts that we haven't filmed for you previously. It's a fairly breezy February day here, and we're just on the outskirts of town now, and this is Monte Monte Corona provides fantastic views all around. It's the kind of highest point in this area, and it's relatively easy to walk to from Costa Teguise. There are two paths you can probably see. Well, in fact, I'll zoom in a bit. You can probably see people walking on the path there. So you just access it from outside of town, and those people you can see will walk around the corner and then go on straight up to the summit. Well worth a decent day's hike. And if I swing round slowly, this is where we're going next, and this is to the new football field and sports centre, which again is just outside the town of Costa Teguise. Let's try and take that zoom off. There we go. So we're going to have a closer look at that in a minute, and just so you can orient yourselves, there is the town of Costa Teguise. We've come down the road where the white gates are that were designed by Cesar Manrique when the town was established. And here we are at the sports centre now, and construction on this finished a few months ago. In common with all the football fields on the island, it has an AstroTurf pitch. It's got full flood lighting, which is incredibly bright if you see it on at night. There's one of the light towers, and on this side we've got a basketball court. There's some sort of pit there. I'm not sure what that's for. Shot put maybe? Don't know. Over here we've got what looks like a 100-metre running track with 6 lanes in it. There's seating there for people watching football matches, and there's a little cafeteria on the top there and changing rooms off in the distance. So Costa Teguise, of course, there was nothing here until the early 1980s. It was a completely man-made resort. When Teguise Ayuntamiento, in concert with Cesar Manrique, he was quite heavily involved in the early development here, decided that they would create what was then going to be a very upmarket resort, a new resort at this end of Lanzarote. And it didn't really take off as a luxury 5-star premium resort, but it's become a good all-rounder family type place to visit, and also a real mecca for sports people in Lanzarote. So you've got Sands Beach Resort, you've got the Barcelo Sports Hotel here, you've got Santa Rosa, and it's also a massive place for both windsurfing, kite surfing and scuba diving. So let's head into town and show you some other places that we haven't covered on previous videos. Now, this is the new Civic Centre in Costa Teguise. I actually filmed it some time ago and it wasn't completed, and it still isn't completed, but the glass is now in. Quite a nice little design, those kind of circles with glass and metal on the front. But I don't know what the issue is, why it's not open yet. And it even looks like one of the towers there has been pulled down for some more repairs already. So I'm guessing some kind of mistake on the planning front or building front. And there's a team of builders clearing some rubble there. But the idea behind this is it's going to be kind of like a village hall, so you can hire rooms in it. There'll be a tourist information centre and stuff like that. So hopefully that will be open in the relatively near future. This is the shopping centre at Teguise Greens, right on the entrance to Costa Teguise as you come in from Arrecife. Have a look around. I haven't been here for a long time actually to see what's what. There are empty commercial units at the front, which is a bit of a waste. There's a cool kids' school of English there. Dental clinic, Costa Dental Clinica. I think this is the estate agent on the front that is organising rentals of those shop units and also of the development. So the whole Teguise Greens development kind of expands that way away from me. It was built over a period of a few years and then the developer went bust. The properties were repossessed and the banks sold a lot of them off, but I think there are still quite a lot in bank ownership which are available for rental or purchase now. And that's all being handled by these guys at Logal Inmobiliaria. There's one of the Cesar Manrique BMW 7 Series from Cabrera Medina. This shop is El Fiestón. Definitely worth a visit if you're here for Carnival. It's basically a party shop, so they do carnival costumes, party balloons, helium balloons and all that kind of good stuff. And also in this shopping centre there's a pretty big Eurospa supermarket, and upstairs there's a parapharmacia. I'll talk about the difference between a pharmacia and a parapharmacia in a moment. But I'll show you the front of the Eurospa, and as we come around the corner here you'll probably be able to orient yourself as to where we are. In the distance there you can see the cranes at Puerto de los Mármoles, and over on the left the desalination plant and power station. So there's the Eurospa. We'll walk around the front here. Pretty murky day as you can see. I mean, some of those clouds look like they've got rain in them. I don't know whether that will turn out to be the case. We'll find out. Hopefully I don't get caught in it. So a pharmacia is the same as a pharmacy is in most countries. Fully qualified pharmacist working in there who can diagnose and can give you prescriptions that have been issued by the doctor. But here we also have parapharmacias. Same word but with the word para in front of it. They're not qualified in any way. They're basically shops that sell, this isn't criticism, just what they are. They're shops that sell herbal cures and alternative remedies and sun creams and stuff like that. So what they can't do is dispense medicine on the basis of a prescription from your doctor. Quite a good cafe in that other little car park you can see centre of frame now. Always busy. Every time I drive past it, it's busy. If you're staying in Costa Teguise, probably worth checking it out. I haven't been in, but judging by the amount of business it does, it's very good. They do tapas and obviously coffees and teas and breakfasts and stuff like that. I always think it's a good sign when you see builders' vans and builders' vehicles and transport trucks in the car park, and you often see them there. So that's Teguise Greens Commercial Centre. I made a final stop before it rains on me here in Costa Teguise, and I've heard many good things about Asadero Los Carmenes. So that's an asadero de pollos, so they do food to take away basically. Spit roast chicken, potatoes and lasagnas and stuff like that. And we're in Centro Comercial El Trebol. A little bit out of the centre of town. There's the old Legends nightclub, which had a fire years ago and nothing's been done to since. There's a Spar supermarket here. I think this place is a cracking example of a commercial centre where the landlords, and indeed to an extent the tenants, don't really care. It just looks a bit tatty. It feels unloved. The weeds in the garden there. Unpainted benches. More weeds growing in the car park. Strong smell of chip fat coming all around me. Another tattoo bar there, tattoo place. Excursion shop. I haven't been around here for ages, years actually. Closed down shop there. A couple more empty units. So the landlord will be wondering why he's got all these empty units in his shopping centre. And I would suggest it's fairly obvious when you look around it. And more empty places with whitewashed windows here. So I think it's a bit of a disease we've got in the older resorts in Puerto del Carmen and Costa Teguise, where these old commercial units start to die down because nobody puts the effort in. And I don't know, there's maybe a dozen, 15 businesses here. But for goodness sake, if the landlord won't do it, just club together and pay someone to paint these benches and pull the weeds out of the flower beds and stuff like that. What is worth checking out here, and I'll take you around there now, just to see the outside of it, is the aquarium. Nice little bar there called Banana Land. And next door we've got, I can't remember what this one is called, Cactus Jack's, that's it. Yeah, so going back to what I was saying, if I had a business here, I would get together with everyone else and I'd say, right, well, let's start creating our own little community fee. And we all put, I don't know, 50 euros, 100 euros a month into an account, and then we can get things like this sorted out, because it's not expensive and it's not really that hard to do. Here's the aquarium. Now, Julie's been here, I haven't. She thoroughly enjoyed it, and the feedback I get from people is that it's an excellent little aquarium and surprisingly large when you get inside. And they've got sharks in there, and they feed them regularly, so it's quite good to see the diver go into the big tank and feed the sharks. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with keeping large fish in an aquarium, but in fact I don't. But they're here, and it's fascinating, I gather, to see them. So there we go, a slightly negative note I appreciate at the end of this video, and that wasn't my intention, but I came to have a look at CCL Trebol and was disappointed, so I thought I'd share the reality of that disappointment with you. I think I've just been recognised by somebody. Good done. Gracias. So yeah, slightly negative note, and my apologies for that, but I went there with good intentions to show you the aquarium, had a wander around, got a bit depressed, and I thought I'd share that with you. I think these things are easily fixed, and hopefully somebody will take notice of that and do so in the near future. So from a very murky Costa Teguise, it does look like it's going to rain in a minute. Although when you look that way, it's looking fantastic. Hope you enjoyed that. Have a wonderful weekend, and bye for now.